So Nick, you're going to talk about HCI and the impact of HCI on society?
Yep.
So where do we start with that then?
Well, I think that HCI has had a pretty big impact on society. I think that HCI, in fact, itself is changing society in many ways due to the advances in technology. But HCI research has been put into HCI a lot recently, and they're bringing in a lot more elements into HCI onto web pages. Like, for example, basically communication's been made so much easier because they've shrunk the globe and added networking all over the world as much as they can at the moment. So basically, what they're doing is they're allowing easier communication from family, friends, and people who are meeting all over the world, which was previously unavailable. For example, sites like Facebook, which are, the colours are, user friendly, they blend well with the web page, and it looks nice, and it's easy to use, and it's efficient as well. It's completely easily accessible on the internet. And
yeah, what do you think about this thing? I was reading the other day that somebody was saying that Facebook is now, if it was a country, Facebook would be the 4th largest country in the world.
I think that's pretty reliable information, because pretty much everyone, more or less everyone, for example at college, pretty much everyone at college will have Facebook. More or less all my friends I know have Facebook, and it's it's a global thing. It's an infection is what the word I would call it, actually, because once it came out, it was only like 2004 or something. Everyone went mental for it. They went mad for it. So
what's the attraction, do you think?
I think the fact that it is literally easy to sign up, easy to find your way around, and so easy to communicate with friends. Like, for example, if you were like, oh, we're going out tonight, but I don't really know what's going on, jump onto Facebook, you can be able to just send everyone out the invites and stuff, and it's literally one click of a button and everything's done. But like, just because the way that Facebook's laid out, makes everything so easy. Like, literally, you'll type a thing in a box and it'll literally say post button next to it, and it's just click, and then the entire of your friends list can see that post. So basically, it's like one click and everyone can see it.
What do you think about the idea of that you can, people are going around with mobile phones now, aren't they? And they can get like Facebook on there.
Yeah. Mobile devices are now bringing in social networking as well, like iPhones and stuff, iPod Touches, so other phones as well, like Nokias and stuff. They're all bringing it in so that you can use it on the go with the roaming thing, which is you get internet wherever you go, basically. And I think that's also making it a much more efficient way of accessing social networking, because literally you pick up your phone out of your pocket and, oh look, I've got a Facebook message, and it is allowing easier communication again, rather than having to be have a hard line to a network, wireless on like a laptop or something. Realistically, you're just going through the satellites and stuff. So HCI in effect has accumulated from being basic to now being really advanced and allowing people to browse the internet and other things.
Can you see any downsides to something like Facebook?
I can see some downsides. For example, like bullying would be a bad thing, because Facebook's quite easy just to post a little message on and just, I don't know, call someone a name or something like that. So there's a lot of bad things about it. Like people making groups and stuff about other people that people may not want to see. I suppose it's not really too sure about.
What about stuff like? I mean, I was reading the other day that what you put on Facebook never really goes anywhere, never disappears. So is it possible maybe that you could go for a job in 10 years' time and somebody's suddenly dug up some information on you or something?
It's a possibility, because they'll keep everything stored on a database just in case something bad is to arise, so they can reference back to it. So if someone was being bullied, they'd be like, right, well, we'll just go back a few weeks into your archive. Oh look, you've sent so-and-so a message. You may have deleted it off your profile, but we've still got it. So basically, all the data that's sent on Facebook, anything that's done on Facebook, is kept and stored and archived basically against your name.
Do you think people know that?
I don't think many people will know that, because I don't think Facebook will make it, openly, they won't just say, oh, we keep all your information, because people are going to be like, well, hang on then, I'm going to have to think a bit more now. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to let people know about some aspects of what they keep and what they don't keep, but because that might make people think a bit more in the future.
Yeah.
But I don't know really.
What about? I mean, you mentioned Facebook, and that's a really good example. But don't you think things like Twitter, for example, it's 128 words or whatever it is? Don't you think it's all a little bit trivial and meaningless, or do you think there's significant things happen with this sort of stuff?
Well, the thing about Twitter, like there are a few examples with Twitter, like Iran. A while back, they tried to ban it because of protesting, and they were all organising their operations, and they were communicating through Twitter and sending in each other messages and finding out what they wanted to do. And then Iran, the Iranian government banned Twitter as a site in Iran. And now, you see, I think that using Twitter and social networking sites for protest, I don't think that's a bad thing, but obviously there were things going on in Iran at the time. But an American man managed to tunnel his way in so that the Iranis could actually still use Facebook. Twitter, sorry, when they wanted, because obviously I don't think that, you know, discussing protesting and discussing rights and stuff is a problem at all on Facebook, on Twitter. So I think that the Iranian government were a bit, you know, quick to act with the whole Twitter thing, because I don't think that a website should be banned for being able to talk to each other. You know what I mean? I thought that was a bit unreasonable.
How, in terms of the interface, how does Twitter compare with Facebook? You mentioned Facebook.
I think Twitter's... Well, I think Facebook offers more services. It has all sorts of other things, obviously. Like you've got your forums, your groups, everything like that, and you've got applications that run on it, and, you know, you've got your chat and everything. Whilst Twitter's basically more or less just sending messages, but like, you know, so say, at so-and-so, you're coming out tonight sort of thing, and literally just go straight to him. And like, obviously you can post things on your profile that everyone can see as well, but I think Twitter's a much more basic interface, which makes, well, not makes, but allows users to just, you know, sort of use it easy. It's more user-friendly, in my opinion, is Twitter than Facebook. But Facebook has, obviously, like I said, more services and more things to do. But I think that Twitter, I think it's probably better for, like, communication more so. I think Facebook's more of the whole thing, social networking, like, you know, you can join groups with so-and-so and you can play games with so-and-so, whilst Twitter's more about basically, you know, getting to the point and chatting away to people sort of thing. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think HCI is like, just like I said, it shrunk the globe and allowed, you know, communications all over the world. And, you know, some countries didn't even have the internet like 2 years ago, a year ago and stuff like that. Now, obviously, they're coming in slowly, getting basic technology, but they're coming in slowly and they're going to be able to communicate with the rest of the world shortly as well. Okay.
And you've talked a lot today about internet and web interfaces. You've talked about Facebook and Twitter. Obviously, that's just one part of HCI. Can you think of any other examples of even you know, away from the obvious kind of examples of HCI that have had an impact at all?
I'm not too sure.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. What about if you were to get a crystal ball and look to the future, and you were to look and you think, what kind of things might be coming up in the next 10 years that will change again the way we interact with the world because of advances in HCI?
Well, there are a lot of different technologies that are, you know, progressing at the minute. We have like things like Project Natal, which is Microsoft at the minute. They're developing. They've also got I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's like a tabletop which is all touch screen. You can move it.
Oh, Microsoft Surface.
That's it, Surface. Yeah. But Project Natal, it recognises movements without having to like you know, when you use green screen and stuff, you've got to wear like the suit with the bubbles on it. Natal seems to like just recognise your movements without having to have any of the sensors other than the sensor that it comes with. And I think that it's the technology that we've got coming up, and this is only a few years, well, you know, it's actually out more or less soon, isn't it? So it's not far away. And then if you think about it, so if I was to look into the future, technology is going to advance so much more. And I think that virtualization and holograms and stuff, holographic, like, I reckon that it's some stuff, like, the technology on the internet's going to change. I know that for a fact, but I think that technology in the real world is going to change, and, you know, there's going to be different ways to access, like, networking sites. There's going to be different ways to access the internet, and, you know, it's going to all be, like, focused on movement aspects, and rather than, you know, a physical connection to your laptop, you know, you're doing that, you're typing on your keys. I think it's going to be more like, you know, gestures and stuff.
And how might that change the world we live in, do you think?
I think it'll make the world slightly more, well, it's going to change the way that everyone act, like, you know, how everyone uses their computers, how everyone uses the technology that they've got to use. I think it's going to, you know, change completely what people are going to want to do as well, like, because obviously if I was to sit here with a laptop, I'd be quite happy to you know, like, type away on Facebook and stuff, but if I had something there that was like, say if it came, like, you know, say we've got a prototype of something that's coming out, I'd rather use that because of the technology that's involved. So it might, say if it involves me like virtually spinning a globe or something, and then like, oh, there's a friend over in that country, I don't know, say if it's like when you open it up it's like a globe, then like you press a button and that's in that country, you've got so and so friends and stuff, then you could, like, you know, and it pops up with like their profile and stuff. I'd like holograms and stuff. I think that's going to be something that's going to be quite important in the future.
Okay.